Hello, and welcome to Trash Plays Ashes Ascendancy, the successor to Ashes Red Rains, formerly known as Ashes Reborn, formerly known as Ashes Rise of the Phoenixborn. This is the newest version of the PvE model for Ashes, and the model going forward. We are fighting Dragonborn instead of Chimera. So, to set up for the Dragonborn, we place aspects face down, going from 1 blood to 2 blood to 1 blood in alternating order, and typically, well, the starting setup that they tell you to do in the book is only putting down 4 aspects, but I like to play with 5 because 4 is just a bit too easy. And in Ashes, you get to choose your opening 5 cards. These are going to be the 5 cards that I start with in my hand, and at the start of the game, you can actually choose to discard any cards in your hand, which doesn't seem to make much sense unless you're playing very specific decks, so I'm not going to do that. You roll for your opening mana. I have 3 basics, 2 Bs, and 5 gears. This is actually a pretty good opening roll. And then you start playing the game. So players start in PvE. I'm going to start by playing my Summon Thunderhulk for my main action, and for my side action, I'm going to play Summon Spark Drone, or not Summon Spark Drone, Supercharge. This is going to cost me a gear, and that is going to be the end of my turn. In Ashes, you get 3 actions every turn. You get a main action, a side action, and a reaction, and much like D&D, those are not interchangeable. You cannot use a main action to play a side action. So, to do the Dragonborn's turn, this is actually very different from the Red Rains. You roll one of Dragonborn's dice instead. These now have 3 different sides, much like the player dice. And the behavior of the Dragonborn is going to depend on what you roll. It's based on this behavior card right here. So you roll this instead of a d12. I got a basic, and basic says attack if able, if not reveal. There is nothing to attack with, so you reveal the leftmost unit. This is Aegis Feathers. Aegis Feathers has Aegis Feathers. When this unit is destroyed, remove 1 exhaustion token from the leftmost aspect on the battlefield. It is a 1/1/1 with the guard symbol. So this means that if you attack the Phoenixborn, or not Phoenixborn, if you attack the Dragonborn or another unit, this unit will guard that attack. So we kind of want to get rid of that. I'd actually really like to get rid of that right now, but I don't have anything that can attack it right away. Before they reveal another unit and exhaust it, I would like to get rid of that Aegis Feathers. I think I'm going to do my Summon Thunderhulk. So I exhaust my Summon Thunderhulk. This also cost a gear and a basic. To put a Thunderhulk into play. Thunderhulk is a 3/3/0. Very good value for 2 dice, but it is dormant. This unit cannot attack unless it is charged. And it also has Overkill 1. After this unit destroys a unit an opponent controls by attacking, deal 1 damage to that opponent's target Phoenixborn. So, if possible, I'd like him to kill stuff by attacking. Now we roll the Dragonborn's dice again, and we do this over and over until we run out of stuff to do. This is the Crown. For the Crown, you do activate the Dragonborn's Ready spell. The Ready spell is this thing over here. Ready spell 1 activated. The target opposing player must lower 1 non-basic dice in their active pool by 1 level, and I'm going to choose to lower one of my Bs, because I don't need any Bs. So it's okay lowering a B to a gear, because I can still use the gears. And then you reveal, and I reveal the Bird Hunter. Bird Hunter, Overkill 1, that's mean. He also has a center icon. That means that whenever the Bird Hunter attacks, or any unit with a center icon attacks, they go straight for the Phoenixborn, and all the unit with the center icon attack at once, unlike the Red Rains, where only 1 unit would attack, unless you were playing the zombies, or the Rainwalkers, as they're called. So this is a 3/3/2 Overkill 1. When this unit destroys a unit an opponent controls by attacking, deal 1 damage to that opponent's target Phoenixborn. I would like to kill it as opposed to it killing me, but the Aegis Feathers is there, meaning that I can't attack the Bird Hunter. This is actually really unfortunate. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to play my Systems Drafter, and Systems Drafter has Rethink 1. When this unit comes into play, remove 1 exhaustion token from a ready spell you control so I can re-ready my Summon Thunderhulk spell. And not use any side actions. It is once again the Dragonborn's turn. Roll the dice. Oh no, a dragon. That's bad. Dragon, reveal, attack with the revealed aspect of Able. We're going to reveal Rapid Flight. This is a 2-1 Quick Strike unit. When this unit is attacking, it deals damage before units in battle with it. Normally, units in battle deal damage simultaneously, but this one gets to deal first. Which is really unfortunate, because I was hoping to block with Systems Drafter. But this is attacking my rightmost unit, it's attacking Systems Drafter, and I can't block with Thunderhulk. I think Issa Brightmore is going to guard for this. Every Phoenixborn can only guard once per round. And I'm just going to have Issa Brightmore guard Systems Drafter and take 2 to the face. But now Rapid Flight is exhausted, so she can't do anything anymore this round. And now it's my turn. Let's summon another Thunderhulk, use a gear and a basic to put another Thunderhulk out. And for my side action, I am going to use Issa Brightmore's ability. I can exhaust Issa Brightmore and use a gear to draw 2 cards, and I can place an exhausted dice onto a card I control, an exhausted Artifice dice specifically. And I'll put it on this Thunderhulk. So now this Thunderhulk can attack. And I got Brilliant Display and Recharge. These are pretty good cards to have. Recharge specifically lets me remove 1 exhaustion token and 2 wound tokens from a charged card I control. So if I can deal 2 damage to this Thunderhulk, then I can heal him up completely and he'll still be able to attack. So, it's a Brightmore's turn, or Scatha Kalani. Another crown. I have to lower another dice. I'm going to lower this B to a gear and reveal a Dragon Rage. 2 blood, Dragon Rage 1. When this unit is declared as an attacker, place 1 status token on the Dragonborn. 4-3. Yikes. The status tokens are for Scatha Kalani's specific effect. Poach. At the start of the Dragonborn's turn, remove 1 status token from this card. If you do, deal 1 damage to the opposing player's target leftmost unit or their target Phoenixborn if they control no unit. And when all 5 of these dice become non-basic, they also get a status token. It's my turn again, and I kind of want to... Oh, this might be a bad idea, but I kind of want to do this. Okay, I'm going to use 2 dice for Core Supplier. Core Supplier has supply 2. When this unit comes into play, place up to 2 Artifice dice from your exhausted pool onto cards you control. I'm going to do Thunderhulk and Supercharge. And I have no side action. But this means that I have no more dice. I only have 1 dice left, and I think I'm going to use that for Brilliant Display. Assuming that they don't do anything too bad with their next turn, let's see what happens. Another crown. I have to lower a dice. This goes down to a basic, but that's okay because Brilliant Display uses a basic, and I reveal a Radiant Flash. Radiant Flash says, when this unit comes into play, target opponent must lower 1 power dice in their active pool by 2 levels if they cannot place 1 status token on the Dragonborn. And I cannot do that because I only have a basic, so Scatha Kalani gets 1 status token. Now, they no longer have any face-down aspects, meaning that from now on, they're just going to attack every turn until all their units are exhausted, or they can no longer attack, and then they will pass automatically, and when we both pass, the round ends, and then we start over the cycle of violence. So, what do I want to do? I'm going to use my 1 dice for Brilliant Display. This is a Issa Brightmore specific card because it has her portrait on the bottom right. Resolve the following effect once for each Artifice dice on cards you control. Deal 1 damage to a target unit and opponent controls. So, this is 3 separate instances of damage, 1 at a time, because I have 3 dice. So first, I'm going to deal 1 damage to Rapid Flight. That is going to kill Rapid Flight. And when Rapid Flight dies, they have Blood 1, so Scatha Kalani is going to take 1 damage. Then I'm going to deal 1 damage to Aegis Feathers. Aegis Feathers also has Blood 1 damage to Scatha Kalani, and when she dies, she removes an exhaustion token from the leftmost aspect on the battlefield, but there are no exhaustion tokens. And then I will deal 1 last point of damage to the Radiant Flash. This again has Blood 1 more damage to Scatha Kalani. These 2 cards are in my hand. That was my main action, and I don't have a side action. Yeah, I don't have a side action. Now it is Scatha Kalani's turn. First, the Poach is going to activate. It's going to deal 1 damage to my leftmost unit, and if I don't have a unit, 1 damage to me. And then the Bird Hunter is going to attack. It's going to go straight for my face, And I'm going to block with Systems Drafter. Systems Drafter is dead, but the bird has overkill 1. Bird Hunter has overkill 1, so I take 1 damage. But Systems Drafter will counterattack, dealing 1 damage to the Bird Hunter as well, and they are now exhausted. Now it's my turn. Blood Rage. When Blood Rage attacks, the Dragonborn gets a status token. I don't really want that. Let's try to kill it before it attacks. This Thunderhulk is going to attack Blood Rage. Now here's where the other difference happens. When you attack with a unit and you're targeting an aspect, instead of rolling a d12, you roll one of the opponent's dice. And whatever it rolls on, it stays on that face. If I were to roll a basic, Scatha Kalani would block the attack instead, would guard the Dragon Rage. And if I roll anything else, it would become whatever face that is. And that would cause all 5 dice to not be basic, and then she would get a status token and it would all turn back into basic. So let's see what happens. And I didn't get a basic, so the attack goes through, but these all turn back to basics, and she gets a status token. The attack goes through, 3 damage versus 3 life, and then she's going to counterattack 4 attack versus 3 life. The dice here doesn't do anything because I'm not playing Aaron Frostpeak, that's right. So now this Thunderhulk is dead, as is this Dragon Rage. Dragon Rage has 2 blood, so deals 2 damage to Scatha Kalani. And my Thunderhulk also had overkill 1, so because he killed a unit by attacking, Scatha Kalani is going to take 1 damage. And now it is the Dragonborn's turn. The Poach activates and deals 1 damage to my leftmost unit, and they don't have a main action, so now they pass. My main action, I'm going to play Summon Spark Drone, and no side action. And now it's the 3rd turn, they can't do anything, they pass, it's my turn. Thunderhulk. No, Core Supplier is going to attack the Bird Hunter, because it already has 1 damage. That's not a basic, so the attack goes through, and because Bird Hunter is exhausted, they don't get to counterattack. And they have blood 2, so they take 2 more damage. Now it's my turn again, and I'm going to use my Supercharge. As a side action, if this spell is charged, I can exhaust this to give 2 attack to a target unit for the remainder of the turn. So Thunderhulk now has 5 attack, and Thunderhulk is going to attack for 5. They have no way to block it. So now Scatha Kalani is going to take 5 more damage. They're up to 13 out of 30. That's a pretty good round 1. I have no more dice, so that's going to be the end of the round. And everything unexhausts. So we are now at the end of the round, so everyone recovers, they unexhaust, and they also recover the amount equal to the recovery value. So if Core Supplier had 1 damage, that 1 damage would go away. Thunderhulk does have damage, but they have a recovery of 0, so none of their damage goes away. Now it is the beginning of the next round, so Scatha Kalani's Progress activates on their ready spell. This is deal 1 damage to all opposing players' units. This is after recovery, unfortunately. Remove this ready spell from the game, progressing to ready spell 1, or ready spell 2. So unfortunately, if I did have any units that only had 1 HP on my field, they would just automatically die at the end of round 1 every single time we play against Scatha Kalani. It makes it very predictable, and I'm not too sure if I like it that much compared to Red Rains, which is a lot more unpredictable, but we will see as time goes on. So ready spell 2 is their new ready spell. For the activated, deal 1 damage to the opposing player's choice of their target rightmost unit or Phoenixborn. Progress is deal 3 damage. This progress is at the beginning of the next round. Deal 3 damage to each opposing player's leftmost unit. Remove this ready spell from the game, progressing to ready spell 3. So I gotta keep that in mind. Now we refill, or technically we refill before the progress spell activates. But in this case, it doesn't really matter. It will for round 3 though, because their round 3 one puts another aspect on the field. We also have to flip over so that the Dragonborn is now the first player, and we re-roll all of our dice. Not terrible. 7 gears and 3 basics. At this point, we can choose whether or not to discard any cards. I'm going to choose not to discard Recharge, because I want to use that Recharge. And then we draw back up to our hand size. Because the Dragonborn goes first on turn 2, or round 2, we are going to let them go first. That's not great. I rolled a dragon, so reveal and attack. Oh no, and it's Blood Rage too. When this unit is declared as an attacker, place 1 status token on the Dragonborn. That's pretty bad. And they are attacking my leftmost unit. Thunderhulk is gonna take that and counterattack. Dormant, this unit cannot attack unless it is charged, but it can still counterattack. So Thunderhulk is once again dead, but so is Dragon Rage, dealing 2 damage to the Phoenix or Dragonborn via blood. Now it's my turn. I want to get another Thunderhulk out. I'm gonna get another Thunderhulk out. Another gear and another basic to get him back out there. And for my side action, I think I will indeed use Issa Brightmore, use a gear, draw 2 cards, and place a dice I control onto a card I control. So the 2 cards I drew were Systems Drafter and Barrier. Excellent. Excellent cards to draw. Beginning of Scatha Kalani's turn, this Poach is going to activate, using 1 status token to deal 1 damage to my leftmost unit, which is going to kill Core Supplier, unfortunately. Roll another dice, see what they do. Basic, attack if able, if not reveal, so they have to reveal, and they reveal a Bird Hunter. This has overkill 1, 3/3/2. I wish I could kill that without taking 3 damage, but unfortunately... Oh, I do have Barrier. Ooh, I do have Barrier. Should I go for it? I kind of want to go for it. Let's go for it. Okay. In order to Barrier, I'm going to need a B. Barrier specifically says when you may play this spell after a charged card you control is dealt damage. Prevent 3 of that damage from being received. So if I meditate, I can either discard a card to meditate, or I can discard the top card of my deck. I'm going to discard... Let's see how long I can keep this Thunderhulk around. I'm going to discard the top of my deck. And that was a Thunder Suit. That's not as good as Recharge. To meditate this up to a B. And then Thunderhulk is going to attack the Bird Hunter. Now we roll the dice to see if Scatha Kalani blocks. Don't block. Ah, Scatha Kalani did guard. So she is just going to take the 3 damage to the face. That is not good. Well, it is Scatha Kalani's turn. Roll the dice, get a crown. The crown is... Ready spell, deal 1 damage to the opposing player's choice of their target rightmost unit or Phoenixborn. I'll choose my rightmost unit. And then reveal a card. That card is Seer. I don't like this card at all. She comes into play with 2 status counters, and at the start of the Dragonborn's turn, removes 1 status counter from this unit to deal 1 damage to the opposing player's target Phoenixborn. I think I'm going to let that Thunderhulk sit there for a little bit, taking a little bit more damage, and I'm just going to play another Summon Thunderhulk for my main action, and play Reconfigure for my side action. This allows me to move Artifice dice around. Dragonborn's turn. Dragonborn, the Seer happens first, so 1 counter comes off Seer, deals 1 damage to me, and then we roll a dice. Get the dragon! Reveal and attack with... Rapid Flight. Ah, that's really not good. This is going to attack for 2 on my rightmost unit with Quick Strike. I am going to just let them kill the Thunderhulk. That's fine. I'm not too attached to him. He's dead. My turn, main action, summon another Thunderhulk. And... I can't use Barrier, I can't use side action. I'm going to put the B on my Thunderhulk, which means I won't have enough to actually use the Barrier next turn, but that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. Alright. Seer activates, which deals 1 more damage to my Phoenixborn. And then we roll the dice. Basic. Attack if able. Bird Hunter is attacking. And it has overkill. I'm just gonna take that 3 damage to the face. Because either way, I'm gonna take the damage. I'm gonna take at least 1 damage. And I don't want to lose the Thunderhulk after I just wasted a B getting him charged up. And now it's my turn. Let's play Summon Spark Drone for my main action, and then no side action, or actually side action, I'm gonna meditate to get another B, and I'm gonna meditate via discarding a card from the top of my deck. And now it's the Dragonborn's turn. Another basic attack if able. Okay, so Seer is attacking for 3. On my leftmost unit, or my rightmost unit, Thunderhulk is going to counter attack, and I'm going to use a bee to use Barrier. You may play this spell after a charge card you control is dealt damage, prevent 3 of that damage from being received. So Thunderhulk takes no damage. Thunderhulk counterattacks and kills the Seer, dealing 2 damage to Scatha Kalani. She's now up to 20 out of 30, that's good. Unfortunately, they still have face-down cards. And that means I can't use both recharges anymore. So I'm going to meditate, side action, meditate, discard a recharge to get a B. And main action, I'm going to do summon Spark Drone. This cost a gear. And I'm going to get a Spark Drone out on the field. And then, come on. Don't do... Okay, attack if able, if not reveal. So they can't attack, so they reveal. Radiant Flash, no! When this unit comes into play, target opponent must lower 1 power dice in their active pool by 2 levels. So my B goes back to a basic. My turn, I'm going to... Oh, I really want to take out that Radiant Flash. I really want to take it out. No, none of the timing works out well for me. If I unexhaust Thunderhulk, that takes a main action, so I can't attack with it. Then Radiant Flash is going to attack next turn. Alright, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use... I don't have a B, that's right. I'm going to meditate once again, top of my deck, turn this into a B. I'm going to use the B to do recharge. This is an action spell, and it requires that I also discard a card, remove 1 exhaustion token and 2 wound tokens from a unit I control. That's going to be my Thunderhulk, and no side action. And then... the Radiant Flash is going to attack. It's going to attack for 2, and I'm just going to take that, because it's attacking me directly. So I'm up to 10 damage out of 18, but the Radiant Flash is now exhausted. And now it's my turn. Main action, Thunderhulk is going to attack Bird Hunter. And let's see if Scatha Kalani... She does take the hit for it. No! Why you keep doing this? Alright. She takes 3 more damage. Bird Hunter is safe. Thunderhulk doesn't... activate Overkill. And then I'm going to side action, reconfigure, move an Artifice dice from a card you control onto another card you control. I'm going to move that onto Supercharge. Now it's Scatha Kalani's turn. She has nothing she can do, so she passes. My turn, Supercharge, side action. I can exhaust Supercharge. If this spell is charged, add 2 to the attack value of target unit for the remainder of the turn. I'm going to choose Spark Drone. And then Spark Drone is going to attack... Rapid Flight, I guess, because I can't kill the Bird Hunter. And she does not block this. However, that is the 5th non-basic dice, so she gets a status token. Which is actually perfect timing, because my Thunderhulk is about to die anyways. So she doesn't block the Rapid Flight from dying. Rapid Flight is dead, and she takes 1 more damage from the blood. And then, that's the end of my turn. That wasn't a pass, however, so now it is her turn. And then the Poach is going to activate. This comes off, deals 1 damage to my leftmost unit. Yeah, leftmost unit. And then she passes. And then it's my turn, and I can't do anything. So now I also pass. Oh, I still have a dice left. I guess I could summon Spark Drone. I mean, I might as well summon a Spark Drone, I guess. Sure, I'll summon a Spark Drone. I don't know if I'm supposed to have a dice left. Yeah, this only costed 1? Yeah, okay. I think I'm still supposed to have that dice left. It can't really do anything, but it's good to have a unit sticking around. And then I pass. Or then it's their turn, they pass, now it's my turn, and I pass. So, recovery. Everyone unexhausts. You have no recovery, so you don't heal that damage. All the dice go away. And now the ready spell progress happens. At the start of the next turn, deal 3 damage to each opponent's leftmost unit. So Thunderhulk is now going to die. Remove this spell from the game. Progress to ready spell 3. For ready spell 3, technically I should refill the board before I do that. And they only get up to 5 aspects. They don't get 5 more aspects on top of whatever wasn't killed. And they also get 2 status tokens. They get 1 for each unit that was alive. Anyways, Ready Spell 3 says the target opposing player may discard one card from their hand or the top of their draw pile. If they do not or cannot, deal 1 damage to their target Phoenixborn. And for the progress, deal 3 damage to each opposing player's leftmost unit, add a face-down aspect to each of the Dragonborn's battlefields. So unfortunately, if I do let it progress, if we don't end it this round, I will be fighting a 6-stage fight instead of a 5-aspect fight. But I think we should be fine. So we flip over the pointer. So now I am first player. We roll the dice. Lots of basics. 4 basics. And 2 Bs. That's pretty good. Issa Brightmore's default deck has a lot of ability to just change dice to be what you want. And then I can discard any cards if I have any. I don't, so I'm going to draw back 5. And it's my turn. Ooh, I have Core Supplier. I have Brilliant Display. Here we go. Oh, this is going to be easy. This is going to be super easy. Let's start with Core Supplier. That costs 1 gear and 1 basic. And when this comes into play, I can place 2 Artifice dice from my exhausted pool onto cards I control, so that's going to be Supercharge and Spark Drone. And for my side action, I am going to use Issa Brightmore's ability, use a gear, put it on a card I control, and I get to draw 2 cards. Those 2 cards are Thundersuit and Core Supplier. Excellent. Oh, this is going to be so easy. So now, Scatha Kalani's turn starts. Poach activates, deals 1 damage to my leftmost unit. Roll the dice. Basic, so they attack if able. Bird Hunter is attacking, and because they have a center icon, and Radiant Flash also has a center icon, they both attack me at the same time. And I'm just gonna use Spark Drone to block both of them. I'm okay with that. They're both dead. But because Bird Hunter has Overkill 1, I am gonna take 1 damage. Now it's my turn, and I'm gonna play another Core Supplier. This costs 2 dice, 1 basic, 1 gear, and I get to put 2 dice, those 2 dice onto cards I control. Doesn't really matter which ones, to be completely honest, but I'm not going to put it on my unit because they can die, and then the dice would go away. Oh, actually, before that, I'm going to use a I'm going to play Supercharge. And I'm going to put this dice onto Supercharge instead, because Supercharge is a side action, and it costs a gear. So now I have 5 dice, and it's Scatha Kalani's turn. Poach activates, deals 1 damage to my leftmost unit. Scatha Kalani, yeah, that's her name. And roll a dice to see what she does. Crown. I have to either discard a card from my hand or the top card of my deck. I'll choose the top card of my deck or take 1 damage. And then reveal. Rapid Flight. Excellent. Okay. I am going to use 1 basic dice. For Brilliant Display, resolve the following effect once for each Artifice dice on cards you control. Deal 1 damage to a target unit and opponent controls. I control 5 dice, so I deal 1 damage here, 1 damage here, 3 damage here. That kills all 3 of these. Blood value is 1, 2, 3, 4. So she takes 4 more blood damage. And now she's up to 28 out of 30. And she is so close to being dead. Unfortunately, I cannot attack because that was a main action. But I doubt she's going to be able to do anything. Here we go. Okay, Dragon. Reveal and attack with Seer. Seer comes into play with 2 status tokens. And she's also attacking. I'm going to block with a Core Supplier. They're going to kill each other. Core Supplier is dead. Seer is also dead. But Seer has blood too. And that brings her up to 30 damage out of 30. And she is dead. Excellent. So yeah, that was Ash's Ascendancy. Things were looking a little dicey there for a while, but we managed to pull through, mainly because of this amazing card, Brilliant Display. Now, Brilliant Display does take a little while to build up in order to get what you actually want, but in this case it worked out pretty well. I think I played it in round 1 as well, which was very good. As for this new dice type, the Artifice die, when I first heard about it, I thought that it was going to be the weaker of the 2 new dice types, and that things weren't going to be very good with it right off the bat, and that the Astro die was going to be the one that was going to be, you know, the more powerful one that everyone was going to be using, that everyone was going to be splashing into their decks. But it turns out that's kind of not true. Issa Brightmore's default deck is actually really strong. The only flaw with it is that it has 3 Summon Thunderhulks, which you don't really need, And it has some really strong cards in general. And when I say strong, I mean like these are foundational cards for the rest of the Artifice dice going forward, in my opinion, based on just what they are, right? Like Barrier prevents 3 damage on something, Thundersuit maybe, Systems Drafter for sure, Core Supplier for sure, he only costs 2, and when he comes into play, you can put 2 dice from your exhausted pool onto cards you control. Like, that's so good. Recharge, probably. I don't know what the future of the units are going to look like, but that's probably going to be a big card that you want to use. It's just, her deck's good. And that is why I am playing her for my first video on this channel, and I'm not playing Aaron Frostpeak, because Aaron Frostpeak's deck isn't exactly bad, per se. It's just a lot harder to navigate, and I wanted my first video on this channel to be a win. And Issa Brightmore is pretty much guaranteed to win. However, I am going to be playing him in the next video, so you'll see me struggle with that a little bit, because he doesn't have as many foundational cards, in my opinion, let's say. He is the other deck that comes in the Ashes Ascendancy core box, though, alongside Issa Brightmore and Scatha Kalani, so it is valuable to play him and show people what that is like, because nobody is playing Ashes on YouTube. I mean, there are some people playing it, but that's like, you can literally count them on one hand. Anyways, now that I am one of those people, I hope I will see you next time, and goodbye.